Okay, recording. Yeah, video responsive sorts. I suppose that's what probably will turn into. Yeah, this slushy guy, whatever, Domitable slush monster. Apropos of wet snow. Yeah, whatever that means. Anyway, I'll play the first minute or two of his video anyway, because he was a little bit, he's making commentary irrelevant to me. So I figure I should defend myself. Are the things like me? And I guess that's, yeah, so this video will be about perspective, I guess, or something like that. Well, anyway, I'm just pointing out, yeah, fewer videos, there'll be less videos for a few days. Got a lot of work to do. Painting walls, such. I've been deleting my walk and talks because I'm really just not enthusiastic about the whole YouTube thing. So, you can't buy a real conversation with anybody here. It's all this bullshit and talk around everything. These are politicians. These aren't philosophers. But anyway, to the video.
Hey Pyrrho, my name is Lee. I don't think we've met, but I've seen a few of your videos, and I thought I'd respond to your most recent one on relativism. I believe it responds itself to one of Gary's videos, somebody I've since unsubscribed to, if only because he shows complete lack of respect for half the people he talks to, and, you know...
Yeah, well, whatever. It's not the people I'm disrespecting. What I'm disrespecting is the tactics of these people, and you're guilty of it right here. You're going to play a game right here. There's nothing to respect about this tactic or this rhetoric. Alright, so you go find where I've made it personal with people first, or where they've done something to something valuable. I mean, somebody's going to strangle a kitten in a fucking video, and that from my perspective, all right, when you cheat an argument, and when you cheat in your tactics on some fundamental principle that's really valuable to the human race, and you do it in a video, to me it's the same thing as strangling a kitten. So why the fuck should I offer you any kind of consideration or anything else? No, I'm going to just point out exactly what you fucking are, what you're fucking doing, and what kind of asshole you are. And it's not personal, but yeah, shitty arguments deserve to be smashed and crushed.
Well, the guy doesn't even have a degree, and I mean...
Oh, well, what am I supposed to have a degree in? Okay, there's a lot of fucktards here that have a fucking degree, and they got degrees in bullshit, nonsense, rubbish, crap. You're talking like what? Well, what? You got to be a real priest to be a professional child molester. I mean, you're just like I said, all these philosophers are just with degrees, or just it's just a way of veiling the bullshit. That's all. And that's all a politician is, right? He's a professional rhetoric kind of person. I mean, he learns how to play games with language so he can manipulate people, but it has nothing to do with the fucking truth or being articulate for any honorable reason. It just has to do with bullshit. Alright, so yeah, I'm not a professional bullshitter like the rest of you fucks.
You don't need a degree to be thoughtful and to read and to do this stuff, but I think one thing a degree does at least is imbue you with a sense of customs and norms and behaviors that are appropriate to discussing philosophy.
Well, right, and we could go into the halls of Congress and we could find all this veneer, of conduct and my friend from, and all this polite crap, and what the fuck gets done through that? That's right. Anything of real value gets fucking raped by this bullshit, this dishonest bullshit.
Anyway, I just want to say, I thought your view on the view you were sort of posing here on relativism was kind of anthropocentric.
Yeah, so okay, let's just stop right there. Okay, so that'll be it. And then I'll just go on to my thing. Yeah, so you can't even just say self-centered. You can't just say selfish. No, instead you got to use some big, fat, nonsense word that doesn't need to exist. I mean, self-centered kind of says it, doesn't it? So fuck that shit. And so let's go through this one more time, and just, I defy one of you fuckers, if you're going to make an argument, we'll argue with these premises. And there's no point. Like I said, we already know. Why don't we just define the premises from which everybody's arguing, and then we can eliminate the nonsense. I mean, we know To Be Serious is arguing from a premise that somehow nature is got a mechanism in it that creates, in the end, some sort of everything will be okay. I mean, everybody will be symbiotic relationships. All the dopey little organisms will take care of each other, and there's going to be no fucking problem. There isn't something basic to the nature that is basically, yes, we've only been cannibals for 2 billion years, and somehow that's going to change. Pyrrho is coming from, yes, exactly, an anthropomorphocentric point of view. Right, exactly. He's a selfish motherfucker. It's that simple. He thinks that value extends from the individual's perception of it rather than some factual actuality in the board game. Okay? I mean, there's a way to metaphor this that is not that complicated. Okay, turn it into a Monopoly board game. Turn it into something and just define the values. And then we have to play the game within that context. And the context of planet Earth is that there's... look, we can disqualify anybody who thinks there's a God running the game. Okay, well, look, he's basically out of the conversation. It's not that he can't have a conversation, but, yeah, it just kind of breaks the rules of the game. There's no way we can argue about these intricacies of what means something if they're going to keep imposing some fairy critter that's manipulating the pieces and that has established ahead of time what the values are. But let's look at the system. The system is a cell that acquired the ability to reproduce. Okay, you accept that premise. Next, sentience developed as a tool, an attribute of the life forms, and now we have something that means something. There's a substantial, observable difference in substance and meaning between the organism that can feel and the organism that cannot. The ones that cannot are effectively no different in terms of the meaning of their welfare than a rock. So if we could enslave rocks, it would mean nothing. If we could use rocks to rub our nipples and get off, it would mean nothing. If we raped rocks, it would mean nothing. Okay, the only time we have meaning in terms of value now is when there's a sentient creature involved. That's what's truly valuable about our own welfare, is the fact that we feel, and that anything else that feels is also valuable. And now we just have to figure out how valuable these individual feeling things are. Or, if I think logically the argument is that all feelings matter. It doesn't matter what life form they're possessed by, they all matter. An ouch is an ouch is an ouch is an ouch. Effectively, I'm not saying that the consciousness of a chicken is just is equal to a chimpanzee, but what I'm saying is that to some degree, the kernel of ouchness, whether it's a 10 to 1 or 5 to 1 or 3 to 1, there's a proportional number there, and maybe we'll never know it exactly, but we can approximate close enough. Anyway, I don't want to get lost in that detail, but the point is there's the game that's being played, and the game is being played with all these sentient creatures that are stuck in this biology problem. Okay, a reproducing cell on an island planet. And so instead of just spreading out, and finding new things to consume to make their reproduction, they started consuming each other. Okay, and then you had evolution, accelerated. You had competition for the limited resources. So you had this whole game that ended up creating these victors, and these winners. So yeah, we are a descendant from those that won. And we know that the rules that they won by was this definition of fitness that's completely kind of arbitrary. Fitness means if you're a great white shark, that you're the most malicious, bloodthirsty, cutthroat, kind of nasty-ass fucker you could possibly be. And fitness for a ape or human type animal would be that, yes, you're very devoted to your family unit, to your clan, and you will jump on a grenade to save your fellow clansmen. You will, get eaten by a tiger to save your kid. You will do whatever you have to do to survive also, which means that you might enslave somebody, or you might kill innocent children of some other clan or tribe because it's a threat to you, because that tribe is stealing too much of the resources you're dependent on. You will have mechanisms built in that are unsustainable, because you all think you're Adam and Eve, and you all think you can go out and fruitfully multiply. And these are mechanisms and circumstances